This is the Pete Wong Podcast, sharing the things that I love with those that I love. I've always wanted to talk about the things that I care about in life. People have told me time after time, why don't you just share more of you? And with that, let's go. Hey everyone, welcome to this week's The Pete Wong Podcast. How are you doing out there? It has been quite a while since my last episode, and that's been all right because I've been taking some time doing some other things and also just taking some time off just to enjoy the day to day. 2020 with the pandemic, us being in quarantine, the different scares with the COVID-19 virus, to the different police brutality cases, the different murders, um, to our to the black community, um, with the Siobhan trial, the verdict, the Asian hate crimes, the shootings. There's just been and a lot to deal with. And as many of you know, through the previous episodes, um, I've also used this platform as a way to share, as a way to express, and as a way to learn, educate, and also heal. As part of that, I've been just taking a moment to do other things. We'll see what happens. I'm not really worried. I've just been appreciating the way that life has been unfolding and presenting itself to me. And for that, I am grateful. As part of that, I this past weekend I celebrated my 42nd birthday, and yay! So I wanted to start off first with the importance of celebration. Every year, for the past couple of years, I've been really trying to kind of like pay respects to celebration and something like our birthdays. I know for some people, they're not really into it. For mine and for others that I choose to celebrate their birthdays with, it's a big deal to me if they wanted to make it a big deal to them. For me, it's just a way to remind myself to celebrate me. I spent so many years not doing things for myself, not um, taking care of myself, not loving myself, not appreciating myself, that when I was making the different choices to learn how to do that better, how to do that more often, how to make that a daily practice until it became something so organic that um, I I'm getting to that point now where I don't hesitate, I don't second guess myself, and that feels great. So when it comes to the birthday, I like to just inside remind myself how special that day is to me. And then as a result, I've noticed that the people closest to me honor and respect that as well. This past Saturday, um, which is May 8th, which is my birthday, um, I spent it. I spent it doing the things that I like, doing the things that I enjoy. I decided this year Saturday would be reserved for spending the day with my girlfriend. That would be our day to celebrate my birthday. Come Sunday, the next day, we would be flexible, be open to see what comes up. In the morning, spend some time with Emily's parents, and before we stop by my mom and dad's to give her a bouquet of flowers. Every Sunday, I meet with my family, anyways, on Zoom. So we celebrated my birthday as well as Mother's Day. So that worked out really well. And then And then in the evening, gathered some friends from different parts of the world to meet and just spend a couple of hours together celebrating some good times together. Lots of celebration. And I've noticed that, at least I like to notice, that when you make the choice to celebrate, you find more things to celebrate. That's why I always play that Cool and the Gang song. Celebrate good times. Come on. That's one version of celebration, but it's one that really speaks to my heart and resonates with me. We went to Hazel's. We started off Saturday morning going to Hazel's in Northeast Minneapolis. Shouts out to Hazel's in Northeast Minneapolis. Uh, it's a restaurant that I've heard of since a couple of years ago before my move away from Minnesota, and I always wanted to go. I didn't know exactly what was so great about it. I just knew that a lot of people in the neighborhood liked about it, talked about it, and so Emily told me that they were open again, and she looked into that and she said, "You want to go?" And I said, "Yeah, let's go. Let's go check it out." And you know, it's just fun when you are just yourself and you just can be yourself and enjoy the things that you like. So we looked at the menu. It was funny because we looked at they had like a brunch menu, and I guess it rotates, changes, and then they had the normal menu. So we looked at the brunch menu and we're like, oh, that looks good, that looks good. And then we looked at the regular menu, and then we quickly went back to the brunch menu, and we're like, yeah, let's stick to our original like feeling. And so we got like a salmon scrambled egg, uh, and then the other dish was an some kind of like veggie omelet. What's so interesting is that I've had lots of scrambled eggs. I've had lots of omelets. It's like one of my favorite things to make. Scrambled eggs. I still got to learn how to make a good omelet. Still struggling with that. Those of you that have secrets to your omelet, please send me some feedback. I love to learn, from all different shapes and forms and ways of cooking. We got rye toast. I can't remember all that was in there. I think there might have been like a salad, and then one dish had a salad, one had a hash brown, some kind of a hash brown, but it looked like a solid thing. Whatever the case, and coffee. Excellent, excellent. If you have not been to Hazel's, please go. Make sure you reserve because you only, with the COVID restrictions, you can only go for an hour. But that was enough. We had a great time. Good start to the morning. Keep in mind, I forgot to mention this. I had just gotten my second COVID vaccine shot, and I wasn't sure how I was going to be feeling. I wasn't sure if I was going to be like down and just needed to rest all day, and didn't know if I was going to get a fever. Had no idea. The couple of days before, I just tried my best to keep my immune system strong, chewing on ginger, having some golden milk. I do a version of golden milk, but it's fantastic. But I can't drink a lot of milk, so I toned down the milk. But you get your turmeric in there, honey, all that good stuff. And I have to believe that all of that training or all of that intention, let's call it intention, was sending out to the universe that I wanted to be able to enjoy my birthday, and not to say that I wouldn't have enjoyed it, but um, just grateful that woke up with just a slight headache and a little soreness. So thank you for yeah, and just thank you for the opportunity to be able to to enjoy my birthday out and about a little bit more. So then after breakfast, we went to the Japanese garden in Normandale Community College. And I had heard about this Japanese garden before as well, but also another place I haven't gone. Um, but since the last couple of years, Japanese culture, Zen Buddhism, Shinto, spirituality, nature, all these things have become more a part of my life and more important and more of a priority in health. Weeks before my birthday, I told Emily, like I'd really like to just go to the garden. And I really didn't know what it was. I didn't know how big it was, uh, how much time we'd spend there. Uh, I just thought that it'd be a good place, and we'd really get a lot of benefit from it. Beautiful scenery, beautiful setting, and I've learned to just be very open in the moments. Just be present and listen, and just choose to put on a smile. When I say choose, I don't mean that you're faking it. I mean you intentionally want to enjoy your life, so you project that inside to outside. And so we were walking around, and there was a lot of people taking photos and doing their thing. People dressed up to the nines. The weather turned out really nice too. Sometimes sunny, sometimes an overcast, but no rain and not really cold. And we just enjoyed ourselves. And then at one point, Emily's like, "Come in here," and there was a tree. And so after I like could crouch under the tree, um, we got on the tree, and she's like, "Hey, lay down with me." So I lay down with her, and keep in mind, I'm like dressed in the clothes that's like has become my favorite outfit that my mentor gifted to me, um, and I don't want to get it dirty, but at the same time, I feel um, that it's okay because I'm with the earth, I'm with nature, and I don't need to worry about that. So I decided, okay, I'll lay down. So we laid down, and we looked up, and we looked at each other, and looked up, and then I actually had an idea of turning on some music, and so um, I haven't seen the animation yet, the Netflix animation. Yeah, I'm sorry if I'm butchering it. Yasuke. It's a fictional depiction of the Black Samurai, and it's an animation, so they took the liberty of adding monsters and that kind of stuff in it. But the music um, by Flying Lotus has caught my attention, and um, it's just got this cool Japanese and hip hop tonality music to it. And so I put it on my phone and just have it, in the background. And I was just soaking it up, just soaking up this moment, this day. And and then and then we spent some time, there and sitting by the koi fish, and then we walked over to the bridge, and I asked her, "Can you take some photos? I'm going to do some martial art poses. Uh, you know, maybe post them up somewhere. Just I want to have them." And so we did that, and then we went over by this tree, which actually had a better view. And a mom came over, and she was all masked up and everything, but she came over and she said, "Hey, I'll help you take a picture." And we were like, "Oh yeah, please, please." And so we stood by the tree, and this mom was super cool and super excited to take our photos, and then Emily, uh, she's like, "Oh," and then she almost like slips, and I'm gonna be exaggerated here. She almost slipped into the water. No, she just kind of tripped a little bit over her feet in the stump of the tree. Um, but I just thought, like, it's moments like that that just you you cannot predict for moments like that, and when you're in the moment and you're just appreciative of the space that you're in, you're respecting the people that you're with. Amazing, beautiful, funny moments like that happen, and I just wanted to share that because uh, that's what makes her and our relationship so special. Is because um, we can be vulnerable with each other. We can be do and say anything that we want, and that's something that we really push out there. And so, while taking a photo, almost falling into the water. Again, I'm exaggerating. She didn't almost fall in the water. But when I'm telling this story, that's what I'm going to say. This was probably about 2 o'clock, probably about 2 o'clock now, I think. And we're walking to the car, and I'm like thinking, I'm like, well, I don't really want to force, like, how sometimes it's like early in the day and you still have like a long day ahead of time, but you're not sure what to do. But I just made a decision that um, on this day I wasn't going to force things to happen. I was just going to um, make a decision and stick to it, but in a very relaxed manner. So prior to going to the Japanese garden, I had done some research of some possible places where we could uh, possibly get a day drink in. Not that we necessarily had to, but I just thought, uh, if it's my birthday and what I enjoy is maybe taking a chance and finding a place that I've never been to before, and someplace with cool interior, maybe possible rooftop, and just have a drink, with someone that I want to share some time with. And so I mentioned, like, hey, I looked up at this restaurant bar. No, it's not really a bar. It's a restaurant grill, a restaurant with a rooftop, something like that, and it's not too far from here. And she was like, yeah, okay. I was like, well, you're down? All right, let's go. So we went. We get there and it's huge. She was like, it's a castle. I was like, it is like a castle. And it's as tall as the water tower because it's right next to the water tower. RH something 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 in Edina. It's actually a furniture store. So the first floor and the second floor are filled with furniture. And it was nice to walk around and look at the furniture um, and it's kind of crazy though because I don't live in my world. I'm not used to looking at you know purchasing a couch that's like $9,000 or a table that's like 1,000. Um, so it's just fun to keep an open mind that that's available for you for those of you that are into that. We get to the third floor and there's the restaurant and it's nice. It's got a beautiful centerpiece, chandelier, nice water fountain, and I'm looking around. I'm like, huh, this is nice. So we have a seat and I crack open the menu, and I'm just looking for a mixed drink, and I'm like inside my head, I'm like, I used to live in Los Angeles, and it took me a while to get used to the prices of drinks in LA, and so and every once in a while, even in LA, I would splurge a little bit. I would spend a little bit more than I was accustomed to, just so I could get in that habit, so I can get in that practice of this is what it's like. Not that I want to do it all the time, but when I was young, I used to not allow myself to be in that mindset that I could afford something like that, that I could do that. And so when I moved to Hong Kong and my lifestyle was different and I had enough money to spend on nicer things. Nicer things meaning things. When I'm saying nicer in this terminology, this time I just mean a little bit more luxurious, a little bit more expensive. Not to say that nice couldn't be defined in another way. Just want to make that put that out there. So we crack open the menu, and we just wanted a drink. We were still full from Hazel's, just a nice drink in between the day, and nice scenery. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, wow, everything is like around $20. And now, if it was a mixed drink, if they had mixed drinks, I would have been down for that. A cocktail, something like that. I would have been down for that. But it was all wine, and I love wine. Don't get me wrong. I love a good glass of red wine. But I just didn't feel like I wanted to spend $20 on a glass of wine for the both of us. Um, and even though I know it's my birthday, but I was like, I'd rather get us a bottle of wine and share that. So, but my plan was that I would get like a beer because the beer was like under $10. And and I'm cool with that. And it was just more about the experience and the atmosphere. And then, but I wanted to make sure that Emily had a drink that she wanted, and so of her choosing, whatever that might be. And so I hope I hope she was able to uh, enjoy the prosecco that she got, and I did enjoy my cider. I mean, it's the most most I spent on a cider uh, at a someplace, but it was great. It was great, and you look around and you see families, you see couples, and it's just like wow, it's like the, some people some people can afford coming here. It's like afford to eat here, and that's great. I was like, yeah, yeah, on some other day, if we felt like I could come back here and splurge a little bit more, but I'm totally cool. I'm totally good. I'm really happy. And so we're just hanging out and talking about the rest of the evening, and and then the waitress brings the bill, and then she's like, I wish you a great day. And me being me, I like to add a little sprinkle. And I say, yeah, definitely, thank you, appreciate that. Today's my birthday, and then she's like, oh, it's your birthday. Let me get you something. And then here's the funny thing: she takes the bill. So she said, let me remind you. She said, uh, I'm going to get you something. So she takes the bill and walks away and says that. So I'm like, ah, she's going to knock off, half off, something like that. No, just kidding. I knew that she wasn't going to do that, but I was like, oh, why should she take the bill? Um, and when she came back, there's this little plate with a chocolate chip cookie, fresh, with a little sprinkle of sea salt on it, and a candle, one candle. And somehow, when the candle was hot, it was able to sit on the plate and sit on the plate. And I'm happy, and I'm just like, this is what the day is about. You let people know that you're celebrating, and people, uh, from my experience, they get excited for you. And if they don't, that's fine. Um, but so yeah, so we share the cookie, tasty, very tasty, and then I blew the candle, and then I took it off, And then I tried to put it back on and the plate, and it wouldn't do it. So it didn't have the magic that it did when it arrived at the table. Uh, so yeah, and then we took this. I had an idea to take a photo, make sure we get the water fountain in the background, and it was one of my favorite photos. So yeah, we went to United Noodles grocery store, Asian grocery store, to pick up some ingredients to make a Thai tom kha soup. And uh, like the week before or 2 weeks before, Emily had asked me, what would you like? What would you like for dinner? Because I'd like to cook it for you. I like to make it for you. And I said, well, because I wasn't sure how I was going to be feeling, or we weren't sure how I was going to be feeling, given the vaccine shot. Decided to pick one of my favorite dishes that also has a strong immune boost element to it. Lots of lemongrass, um, more ginger, and and then I asked if she could make it with chicken, and so we bought the ingredients and headed back to her apartment, and then I was feeling even before that I was feeling like started feeling a little tired, and I thought that I would have to go home and take a power nap. And we got settled in, put the groceries away, and I was like kind of forgotten that I was gonna take a power nap, and we ended up watching the last two episodes of season one's You. I know it's my birthday, and I'm watching a suspense uh, show about a sociopath. It's a good show, by the way. I'm excited for season two. But I had all this anxiety watching the show, the last two episodes. I was like, does it end well? I don't want to, it's my birthday. I don't think I should be having these feelings, these anxiety. And I kept on turning to her, and I was like, how does it end? 10 minutes later, how does it end? And she was like, I can't tell you. I'm like, I know you can't tell me, but this is killing me, and I don't know if I want this. In the end, I'm glad that she didn't spoil anything, and so we finished the show, and then it's about time for to start dinner, and she gives me the option of cooking, uh, cooking just her doing all the cooking tonight, or us, like what we normally do is we um, tackle it together. And normally I would totally have tackled it together. I love the process of cooking. I love cooking with her, and but because I was in the condition that I was, which was somewhat exhausted, still a little headache, but also enjoying, just on this natural energy high of my birthday, that I was like, if you don't mind, I'll just sit out this time, and I'll let you do your thing. And she was like, no, that's totally fine. And so I ended up just kind of like playing some music. She asked me to put on some music that I wanted to that night, and so I just put on some music. I actually put on some Chinese music. Uh, put on some of the contemporary Chinese music from the TV show Warrior. Been getting into that show. Been loving that. Um, and then just hang out with her cat, and the cat, would let me pet once in a while, and then until the cat was like, nope, don't want you to pet. So then we sat down to have dinner, and dinner was fantastic, and it's lovely, and it really, like, we were both like like she loves spicy, I love a little spice, nothing compared to her. And I'm sitting there like blowing my nose, like taking a napkin, blowing my nose, and like, oh, this feels great. It's good for my immune. It was spicy, um, but it was a great meal, a great dinner, and so I'm glad that we chose that one. Um, and then the plan is that we were gonna finish the night watching Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat, and we had waited a couple weeks to get to it, and you know, I had heard good things, I heard bad things, I heard mixed feelings, uh, but I was excited. And let's see. Oh, so then, but before we did that, she uh, she had brought up the idea of doing cake and opening presents, and so um, thought that was a good idea, and so we did. And she brings out a chocolate cake. I don't know if it's triple chocolate cake. It's chocolate cake and it's got some layers, and put some candles on there, um, and I made uh, yet another wish, and um, and then blew out the candle, and then we didn't eat the cake because we were still full. So we waited, or we decided to wait until the end of the movie to eat our cake, and then open my presents. And I'll just share with you the things that I got. So I had opened this on Friday, but it's a Funko Pop of Master Splinter from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So I joked around about it, but I said, "Oh, this is probably me when I get older." Master Splinter, wise, knows how to fight, but also funny. And the second print is this book. It's Justin Baldoni's Man Enough that just got released in late April. Um, I was very surprised when I opened this because I've been looking for my next book to devour. And the one I'm currently doing is Jay Shetty's Think Like a Monk. I got like 40 pages left of that. But yeah, Man Enough, diving into Justin Baldoni, talking about masculinity and talking about his perspective of um, what it means to be a man and to be a son, to be a husband, to be a father. And yeah, been reading that the last couple of days. I'm still in introduction, but I'm sure I'll be get to it very soon here. So the last thing is I'll share with you a final intimate thing, and so I'm watching Mortal Kombat, and if you want to know how I felt about the movie, please comment below or reach out to me, and we can talk about it. Um, Ever since the Raid movies, Indonesian films, Raid, uh, my love for martial art movies has increased, and um, I always like that style now, where it's a little bit more raw, it's a little more gritty, it's a little bit more realistic. The techniques are more bone breaking, shattering, because it really ties in with the kind of martial arts that we were doing, that we do with bloodline hybrid boxing, and some of the folks in LA. And so I know that Joe Towsome, the guy that plays Sub Zero, who's also in Warrior, um, was a key factor in Mortal Kombat. So I was really excited. I didn't know if he was choreographing it or what, but I knew he was involved, and I was excited just to see that. And the ninjas were the best thing about the movie. So, anyways, I could talk more about the review for that film in a different platform. So the movie's about to end, or the movie's getting towards the end, and I got my arm around Emily, and the cat is like nestled partially on my leg, and just the cat's got more and more comfortable with me, and they've both kind of fallen asleep, and I just let it happen. I didn't want to bug her. Like I'm enjoying everything. It's been a fantastic day, and I know that she's tired and um, probably exhausted too. And the cat's the cat, and so I'm just like there, and I'm just like inside. I'm just like, thank you, thank you. So as I posted today this morning on social media, the word is nourished. This year on my birthday, I felt nourished. I was able to do the things that I love with the people that I love, and it was the result of putting that intention out there, the communication and the intention to make it happen as such, and we did, and I just wanted to uh, come back and the first episode. I just thought of wanting to share that with you. Um, I also would like to talk to you and share with you some of the other things that's been going on. I led a self defense workshop. We called it Stand Up, Stop Asian Hate self defense class. And I'll tell you more about that. So I'm going to sign off here. And then I also would like to talk about popping in on a Bruce Lee class that my friend cut in Aguilera San Juan uh, runs and teaches and um, created at McAllister College. And I recently, a couple weeks ago in April, popped in one evening to talk about masculinity, because that week they're talking about masculinity, and then and how that ties in with Bruce Lee. And then just last week, I didn't know that it was the last class, but I popped in and was incredibly inspired to hear the words that the seniors shared. So I'd like to share that with you in an upcoming episode. So I'll leave you. I'll leave you here with that. I'll leave this episode as such, and I hope you enjoyed this little insight into my 42nd birthday. I wasn't planning on doing this. I just started talking, and as life goes, one thing leads to another. So, all right, we'll catch you later. And thanks everyone who's continuously taking the time to listen to the episodes. Again, I hope to return with more episodes and more guests. And but at the same time, I'm also being open and aware of possibilities, other possibilities that are also coming to fruition at the same time, as well as allowing myself to just relax sometimes and take it easy. As Nacho Libre would say, hey, take it easy. So, all right. I'll catch y'all later. Please take care. Please be safe. And you are loved. You are enough. And you are worthy. Blessings to all of you. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you next week. And remember, you are loved, you are enough, and you are worthy. Blessings to all of you.